Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Learning Russian with Learn Russian. We are up to lesson 33. So in the last lesson, we spoke about verbs of motion with the prefix bo, which you may recall signifies the beginning of motion. So that's when you start to move around, you start to walk or drive or fly or whatever. For lesson 33, we're using the prefixes v and v. Now, you might think it seems pretty straightforward at first. The simply means to go into something or inside of something, and v is the opposite, to come out of something. Pretty straightforward, right? It seems pretty simple on the surface, but I think this lesson might have a few surprises for us. And the lesson is also longer than you might think at first. I think in the previous lesson, I thought the previous lesson wouldn't be too long, and then it ended up being longer than I thought. So I think that's going to be the case here as well. This lesson is probably longer than you think. Anyway, so the first dialogue you can see is pretty short. This is actually a very short dialogue. So let's go ahead and listen in. So somebody is at the kassa, which is the cash register or pay point for when you want to buy something. And it appears to be in the metro because that red M logo up there is the nationwide used logo for a metro or subway or underground in Russia. So let's see what's going on here.
Алло, ты где? Я только выхожу из метро, а ты где? А я уже вошла в кинотеатр, стою в кассе. А где кинотеатр, слева или справа от метро? Ты уже вышла? Посмотри, он слева от метро. Все, вижу. Так, вхожу в кинотеатр. Я вижу тебя, иди сюда.
Okay. As usual, they are speaking pretty quickly, but the dialogue wasn't too long, so let's try and pick this apart again. So first,
Алло, ты где?
hello, you are where, or where are you?
Я только выхожу из метро, а...
Okay, hold on. So, I only выхожу. I just выхожу из метро. I just got out of the metro.
А ты где?
А ты где? And where are you?
А я уже вошла в кинотеатр.
А я уже вошла в кинотеатр. I already went into the cinema theater.
Стою в кассе.
Стою в кассе. I stand at the kassa, the cashier's desk.
А где кинотеатр, слева или справа от метро?
And where is the cinema theater? Is it left or right from the metro?
Ты уже вышла?
Ты уже вышла? Did you already leave? Meaning, presumably, left the metro?
Посмотри, он слева от метро.
Look, it's to the left of the metro.
Все, вижу. Так, вхожу.
Все вижу так, so, okay, I see,
Вхожу в кинотеатр. Я вижу.
So, вхожу в кинотеатр. I'm going into the cinema theater.
Вижу тебя, иди сюда.
Okay. Я вижу тебя, I see you. Иди сюда. Come here. Okay, and I guess the point of this is to kind of introduce you to the different verbs of motion again, because we have выхожу, we have вошла, we have вышла, and we have вхожу. But we probably won't grasp the nuances of how these are used from this short dialogue. We'll need to get into those details a little later. First, let's go ahead and listen to another dialogue. This one's also fairly short. In fact, this has only 2 blanks in it. And this one takes place at the aeroport, which of course is the airport.
Алло, Джим, мы уже с женой вылетели из Акапулько.
Хорошо, когда будете в аэропорту в Лондоне, позвони еще раз.
Ты нас встретишь?
Я нет, но мой водитель встретит вас. Сейчас я скажу тебе его номер телефона. Он будет ждать вас около аэропорта. Вы выйдете из аэропорта и увидите его.
Хорошо, я помню его.
Okay. So let's go ahead and go through this again.
Алло, Джим, мы уже с женой вылетели из Акапулько.
So he said, what was the blank word that he filled in here? Or blank word that we need to fill in here? Вылетели. So, hello Jim. Hi Jim. Мы уже с женой вылетели из Acapulco. We already with wife. This phrase here, мы уже с женой, literally translates as we already with wife. But in English, you would say my wife and I. So he's saying I together with my wife. Вылетели из Acapulco. We already departed Acapulco or already flew out of Acapulco.
Хорошо, когда будете в аэропорту в Лондоне, позвони еще раз.
Okay, when you will be in the airport in London, call again. Позвони еще раз means call again time, and хорошо, когда будете в аэропорту в London, good, when in the airport in London.
Ты нас встретишь?
You us meet, or that you will meet us?
Я нет, но мой водитель встретит вас.
Not me, but my driver will meet you.
Сейчас я скажу тебе его номер телефона.
Now I tell you his telephone number, even though there's no mention of a telephone number in the dialogue. But okay, I'll tell you his telephone number.
Он будет ждать вас около аэропорта.
He will wait for you near the airport or next to the airport.
Вы выйдете из аэропорта и увидите его.
So the other word is выйдете. You will exit from the airport and see him.
Хорошо, я помню его.
Okay, I remember him. Я помню его. I remember him. Okay, here we go. So now we get the full list of verbs of motion. Well, not here, but if you click on full here, you get it. I recommend that you click on full because it is kind of important. Yeah, the Russian language has special prefixes which have added verbs of motion to denote direction. That's how people understand each other correctly. So yeah, so the prefix the denotes movement to the inner part of an object. The key point here is that somebody or something moves from the outside to the inside. Right. So very simple. You go inside something, for example, here in this illustration, you go into the living room. That's the. And then the is the opposite, but it's not that quite that simple because in this lesson we learn the verb voiti and the verb vchodit. These both mean to go into something, but they are different. What is the difference? It's kind of I guess it's kind of like the difference between the perfective and the imperfective aspect again. That is actually what it is, isn't it? Hold on, let me just check to make sure because I have a feeling that that might be actually exactly what it is. Hold on. So voiti. Let me just quickly look up voiti. Voiti. Yes. Okay. So that is actually that helps because that relates it to a concept that we already know. Hopefully, we already know the difference between perfective and imperfective aspects of verbs like this. So again, voiti and vchodit are exactly that. Voiti is the perfective form, and then the imperfective form is vchodit. So the perfective form is basically the result of an action. The action is finished, whereas the imperfective form typically means a process that's ongoing. So, for example, here it says Pavel vchodit v office. this means not just that Pavel is going into the office, but that he goes into the office regularly, probably every day, because he probably has a full-time job, and so he goes into the office every day. So yeah, so here again we just have perfective and imperfective aspects of these verbs, which is yeah, and it talks here more about how verbs of motions with prefixes have one peculiarity. The present tense requires a verb of the form chadit. And then there's ed for past tense and all that. But yeah, we've seen that before. Hopefully we know a little bit about, hopefully we have some idea about perfective and imperfective aspects now. And then vli is the same. So there's vliti, which is the perfective form, and then there's vlichadit, which is imperfective form. Both of these simply mean to go out, to exit from something or somewhere. So again, I'm not going to harp on all these too long. Man, it really goes on for quite a while. All these verbs. The verbs vlitit and vlitat are not commonly used. Okay, because that literally means to. It's interesting. It literally means to fly into something. Apparently, vlitit and vlitat are used to fly out of something, probably to fly out of somewhere. But I wonder why you don't say that you fly into a location. Like you can say I'm flying into London or flying into Paris or Moscow or whatever. But apparently these verbs are not commonly used. So, okay, don't need to worry about that. But yeah. Yeah, okay. So I'm not going to dwell on this huge list of words, but just so that you know, and here are some examples. For example, девушка вбегает в дом, the woman or the girl runs into the house. So here, вбегает means run into. Он входит в метро, he goes into or walks into the metro. Машина въезжает в гараж, the car drives into the garage. Yeah, so these are things with v going into, and then vli. Она выбегает из дома, she runs out of the house. Она выходит из метро, he walks out from the metro. And машина выезжает из гаража, the car drives out of the garage or out from the garage. So here now we simply have to type in the all the correct conjugations for voiti and vchadit. Again, voiti is the perfective form, and both of these mean to go into something. Like, for example, this guy's going inside that building, that metro building. The main difference is that voiti is perfective and vchadit is imperfective. So we just need to know how to conjugate these words, and conveniently I happen to have a list here next to me showing me how these words are conjugated, so I will simply type them in. So you have yav, chaju, and tli. Wait, no, I'm starting with vchadit. Let's start with voiti. Я войду, ты войдешь, он or она войдет, мы войдем is already filled in. Вы войдете, они войдут. And then 7, 8, and 9 are past tense forms. So for masculine past tense, it's voshol. For feminine past tense, it's voshla. And for plural past tense, it is voshli. There we go. I don't think you're expected to know this. Probably you're just expected to look this up in a dictionary as I did. So there you go. Just look in a dictionary and you'll find all these, in a good dictionary that conjugates words, you'll see all the different conjugations here. So like a learning dictionary. And then vchadit. Я вхожу, ты входишь. Sorry, I still don't have a keyboard with Cyrillic letters. I'm just typing blindly here. I'm just trying to figure out what the letters are. An or anam, входит. Мы входим. Вы входите. Они входят. And then past tense forms for masculine are входил. Feminine is входила, and then plural is входили. There we go, all done. At the risk of stating the obvious, I don't think that you need to memorize all of these right now. I think that might be just a touch excessive, but just understand the difference between, at a minimum, understand the difference between v and vi. That should be fairly straightforward because you see them in words like vchod, entrance, and vychod, exit. That should be pretty straightforward. And then at least try to understand the difference between voiti and vchodit. It's like the difference between idti and chadit, perfective and imperfective. So, all right, here we go. Exercise number 4, filling in blanks using different forms of the verbs voiti and chadit. So, let's see. The first one has already been filled in. Я вышел в комнату и включил телевизор. So this means I walked into room and turned on television. So вышел is past tense, as you can see here. Вышел is a past tense form for a masculine speaker. So the person saying this sentence must be male, because if they were female, they would have said voshla instead of voshil. So this is what you'd say if you're a male. A woman would say voshla instead. Moving on. Mama something в квартиру и сразу начал звонить телефон. So here we can see already from this nachal word, that's the past tense, so I get the feeling that the sentence is in the past. So this should be saying mama or mom walked, not is walking, but walked past tense into the room or into the apartment. Actually, kvartira is apartment. So mom walked into the apartment and immediately began calling on the telephone or talking on the telephone. So this is also a one-time thing. So I would say we're going with perfective for this, right? Because it's a one-time thing. And mom is hopefully a female, so female past tense is voshla. Okay, moving on. Наш директор, как только something в офис, сразу просит приготовить ему кофе. So, наш директор, our director, как только, so как только means like as soon as something в office. So as soon as he gets into the office, he immediately asks for приготовить ему кофе. So he immediately asks to be made a coffee. He immediately asks, to be made a coffee. Kind of awkward phrasing maybe, but that's what it says, I think. So this is an ongoing process. This is not just a one-time thing. It says that every time he walks into the office, he wants a coffee. So we should be looking, I believe, at the imperfective form. And since the director we're speaking of the director in a third person form, he's a single person, third person, then it should be входит. So, как только входит в офис, and so on. Okay. Где ты сидишь? Where are you sitting, or where do you sit? Смотри, ты something в кафе и идешь направо. Okay, so look, you, well, we know we're using wollte and vhodit, so obviously it's, look, you go into the cafe and go to the left. Sorry, no, направо, go to the right. Направо is go to the right, or on the right. So, the, it's not really clear here. Is this perfective or imperfective? But I think it's imperfective because it's saying, yeah, it's not emphasizing the completion of the action of going into the cafe. It's not saying that you finish going into the cafe. It's saying that you you just go into the cafe. So like just go into the cafe, and it's not emphasizing that you finish that action. It's more like just, I think it's imperfective. It's kind of, it's very difficult if you don't speak a language that uses perfective and imperfective aspects of verbs like this. It's very difficult sometimes to know which one to use. You just have to really get used to it. But I think in this case they want to use the imperfective. So don't worry too much about it right now. Let's just move on. Karina несколько раз something в кабинет. So Karina несколько, so not a few, and раз means times. So Karina not a few times, so Karina many times, something в кабинет. Here cabinet doesn't mean cabinet, but office, I think. Но шефа там не было. Right, but the boss, here chef is boss, not chef as in a cook, but chef as in chief. So Karina went several times into the office, but the boss was not there. This then should be, in my opinion, imperfective because she didn't finish. She did it several times. This is not just like a one-time thing. This was the action of going several times into the office. So it's not wollte, but vhodit. And this is past tense. So we're not using она входит, but rather она входила. Let's see. So yeah, so Карина несколько раз входила в кабинет, но шефа там не было. Karina several times went into the office, but the boss was not there. Okay. Мы начнем наше собрание. We begin our meeting как только все get in. So we begin our meeting just as soon as everyone gets in or walks in. So, again, it's hard to tell whether, I think this is a one-time thing. We're talking about a one-time thing. So we'll say они войдут. Here, все means, don't confuse все and всё. Всё means all things, like everything. Все, without the two dots or the E, means everyone. So here, все means everyone. So this sentence says, we begin our meeting, or we will begin our meeting as soon as everyone walks in. Okay. Number 7. Все something и собрание началось. Still talking about the meeting. So, again, все means everyone. So this is going to be everyone walked in, right? Past tense. Они вошли и собрание началось. Everybody walked in and meeting began. Okay. Пассажиры something в самолет. So passengers go into the airplane. И стюардессы закрыли двери. So закрыли is, again, you can see past tense. So once again, we are looking at past tense. So the passengers entered into the airplane and the stewardesses closed the doors. Again, this is a one-time thing emphasizing that the passengers finished going into the airplane. It's not talking about how they go into the airplane on a regular basis. It's saying at this moment in time, at this point in time, the passengers had finished boarding, and so we use the past tense of voiti, and because it's plural, it's ani. Everyone got into the plane. So они вошли в самолет, и стюардессы закрыли двери. Passengers got into the plane, and stewardesses closed the doors. Каждые несколько лет новые страны something в Европейский Союз. Aha, well, this will probably stop being the case soon, but каждые несколько лет, every several years, or every few years, новые страны, new countries, we know the blank here means go into, в Европейский Союз. So basically every few years, new countries go into the European Union. These lessons were made before Brexit was a thing. I believe, so at the time of making this video, I think the last country to go into the European Union was Croatia, which I think went in like 2013 or something like that. So this is probably going to stop being the case. I know that there are still a few candidate countries, but there are not many countries left that are candidates to join the European Union. But anyway, okay, so this is nonetheless describing an ongoing process. It's not talking about something that's finished, even though I'm saying it's probably finished, but the way that this is worded, it's talking about how in an ongoing process, new countries are joining the European Union. So it's imperfective, and it's, so it's imperfective, so it's vchadit, and it's ongoing third person plural, so I would say vchadiat is the, probably the correct word to use here. So again, каждые несколько лет новые страны входят в Европейский Союз. Every few years, new countries enter the European Union. And finally, Pavel something, well, okay, we know it's go into. So Pavel goes into office. И увидел, okay, so this is past tense. Увидел is past tense. Pavel entered into the office and увидел нового коллегу, and saw a new colleague or a new coworker. So this is a one-time thing. It's not talking about how Pavel doesn't go into the office and see a new coworker every day. It's a one-time thing, talking about how this one time he walked in and saw a new coworker. So I'm going to say it's perfective because this is a one-time special event, and it's obviously past tense because this is past tense. So Pavel вошел в офис и увидел is that нового or нового? I'm not sure. Коллегу. Okay, so everything's correct. So Pavel walked into the office and saw a new coworker. All right, now we move from voiti and vchadit to viti. Do not confuse them; they're opposites. Viti and vychadit. You might think that these sound very similar because there's only one letter difference. This just has the li inserted after the v, but they are actually pronounced quite differently. Like the word vchod, if you imagine that sign, like if you imagine this sign here, yeah, this is pronounced vchod. So the v at the beginning is not really very strongly voiced. It's just basically like f. It's almost pronounced like an f, like f. Vchod. So this word is just pronounced vchod, whereas this word is vlichad. So they're actually not that difficult to, they're not that easy to mix up in spoken Russian because you'll very clearly hear the li if someone pronounces it, and if somebody's not pronouncing the li, then they don't say vhud or anything like that. They just say vchod. So there's no vowel sound there. In this word, there's not a vowel sound there at the beginning words. Here, there's a very clear vlicha. There's a clear vowel sound there. So actually, it's not that bad. They're in spoken Russian, they're not that easy to mix up as you might think. But don't mix them up anyway. So voiti and vliti. Voiti is to go inside, and vliti is to exit. And again, the difference between vliti and vlichadit is just the aspect. So I'm pretty sure that выйти, well, actually we can just see here, can't we? Yeah, выйти emphasizes the result of an action, so it emphasizes something that's finished, whereas выходит is something that's still ongoing. So, okay, fine. So, выйти, how do you conjugate this? Again, this is just a matter of typing in the different conjugations, and again, you can just look it up in a dictionary. So, let's go ahead and just type it all in, shall we? So, я выхожу, ты выходишь, он or она выходит. I keep making the same mistakes. I keep pushing the wrong keys. Мы выйдем is already there. Then we move on to вы выходите. Они выходят. And then the past tense forms are он выходил for masculine, and then feminine form is выходила. And then plural is вышли. And then выходит, the imperfective is я выхожу, ты... wait, hold on. You know what? I just realized I mixed these up. I was typing in the words for выходит. I should have guessed because these have forms like выходишь. Yeah, I just wasn't paying attention, man. I'm sorry. This is actually completely wrong. These are the forms for выходит. So I'm just going to copy and paste these. Sorry if I confused anyone, but yeah, so these are wrong. These are all for выходит, the imperfective form. And right. Okay. And then они is выходили. There we go. Okay. Now we do the forms for выйти. Now hopefully I can correctly type in the forms for выйти. So, я выйду. Ты выйдешь. Again, I'm going to emphasize that I don't think you need to memorize all of these right now. I think that might be a bit overkill. If you really have a photographic memory and you really have a strong aptitude for memorizing things like this, go ahead, but I don't think you need to. Don't feel bad if you can't memorize them right now. So, он or она выйдет, мы выйдем, вы выйдете, они вышел, and then past tense forms are вышел, wait, no, sorry, I got that wrong. This is correct. This is not correct. Они выйдут. I thought that sounded wrong. Okay, so он вышел, and она вышла. There we go. Okay, so that's all correct. So I'm not going to read these again, but since I got it wrong, I'm just going to pause here for one. So these are the correct forms for, these are the correct conjugations for выйти And these are the correct conjugations for выходить. There you go. Again, you can get these out of a dictionary. You probably should get them out of a dictionary. I mean, these are probably things that you should not memorize, but look up in a dictionary as you need them, because trying to memorize all this right now is just gonna, I mean, I think that's not the right thing to do, just to try to memorize all these right off the top. Okay, so now same as before, we just use, instead of using the verbs to go into, we're using the verbs to come out of or to exit. So verbs with выйти and выходить. Обычно я выхожу из дома в 8 часов. Usually I leave from house at 8 o'clock. So usually I leave home at 8 o'clock. Но сегодня утром, but today morning, so this morning, я проспал. Oh no, I overslept. И something 9 часов. So this morning overslept and left at 9 o'clock. I can tell by the way this person says prоспал and not prоспала that this is a male speaker. So we take the male form of, because this is a one-time thing, we take the one-time form выйти, and it's a male, so it's вышел. И вышел в 9 часов. С работы мы всегда something, from work we always leave at 18 o'clock, which is 6 p.m. So they're saying they always do it, so it's an ongoing thing, so it's выходить, мы выходим. Very good. And here again you can see каждый день, every day, so this is once again an ongoing thing. Эта газета, something every day. This newspaper leaves every day. So газета is feminine. So actually it doesn't really matter, it's masculine or feminine because they're both the same. Single third person is the same here. Выходит. Эта газета выходит каждый день. I guess this newspaper goes out, I guess here means is sent. This newspaper gets sent out every day. Okay, в субботу, on Saturday, мы something рано утром, we something, okay, well we know this means, the blank here means to go out. So on Saturday we went out early in the morning, и пошли гулять, and went walking. Потому что была прекрасная погода, because there was beautiful weather. So this is a one-time thing. They did it once, and it's past tense. So it's one-time thing, past tense, plural is вышли. Мы вышли. Мистер Смит. Mr. Smith уже something из совета директоров этой компании. So, Mr. Smith already, again, this means left, из совета. Soviet is a word you probably know from Soviet Union. But Soviet means in Russian, it means like council. It means like central council. Here, Совета директоров means board of directors. So in a corporate sense, Совета директоров is the board of directors. So Mr. Smith уже, Mr. Smith already, we know this means left. So he left from the board of directors of this company. Okay, this is a one-time thing. He probably doesn't leave the board of directors every day. So we'll use выйти because it's a one-time thing and it's past tense, so on вышел. Mr. Smith уже вышел из совета директоров этой компании. Mr. Smith already left the board of directors of this company. Извините, вы something на следующей остановке. Excuse me, you're getting out на следующей остановке. Остановка is like a stop, like a transit stop. So, this is a bit tricky because it goes either way. It could be, or it could go either way. It could be saying, "Are you getting off at the next stop?" But I think in this case they are asking not, "Are you getting off at the next stop?" as a one-time thing, but rather, "Do you get off at the next stop?" Meaning, do you regularly exit transit at the next stop? So what we want to do here then is, since it's a regular thing, we take выходит, and the person being addressed is being addressed with вы, so it's вы выходите. And then the person is responding and saying no, нет, не verb. So you can take the same verb and just conjugate it for the first person. Я выхожу. So нет, не выхожу. No, I don't get off. Or no, I don't exit at the next stop, but it doesn't say that. It just says no, not exit. Okay, смотри, look, какая большая луна. What a big moon. Something из-за туч. So since the blank means to come out of, so yeah, look what a big moon came out of the cloud. This is past tense, obviously. The moon came out of the cloud. And luna is feminine, and it's a one-time thing, so it should be вышла. Okay. Мы так нервничали, что something покурит несколько раз. Мы так нервничали. We were so nervous, что that we went out покурить, smoke несколько раз. So we were so nervous that we went out to smoke several times. This is again past tense. And they went out to smoke several times, not just one time. So it's imperfective, выходит, and then it's plural because it's saying we did it. So we выходили. We were so nervous we went out to smoke several times. Okay, last sentence in this exercise. Наш босс вчера. So our boss. I don't know what's the difference between boss and chef. I don't think there's any real difference between them. It's just boss is obviously an English word that's been Russified, and chef is a French word that's been Russified. So, but I think they both mean the same thing. Just one's an English word, one's a French word. So, наш босс вчера, our boss yesterday, something из себя. Oh, okay. So here's a figure of speech. И начал кричать на всех. Мы были в шоке. So, we know the blank here means to leave, to exit out of. And we know, because it's yesterday, вчера, it's past tense. And our boss is apparently, yeah, it's using male pronouns for him. So we have a past tense thing of something that happened as a one-time thing for a male. So I'm going to go ahead and use выйти because it's a one-time thing and then it's past tense male, so it's вышел. There we go. Yeah, everything's correct. Good. So, наш босс вчера вышел из себя. Our boss yesterday, this phrase, вышел из себя, literally means to exit out of oneself. So our boss yesterday exited from himself and started screaming at everyone. We were in shock. You know how in English sometimes you say someone is beside themselves, like they're so emotional, whether they're because of joy or anger, rage, whatever. So here it's basically the same idea. It's literally saying he exited out of himself, meaning he was so furious, he was so angry, like he stepped out of himself. So in English you'd say he was beside himself with rage. So, figure of speech. And we will, in fact, learn some of these figures of speech at the end of this lesson. This lesson has a segment at the end about sayings and turns of phrase like that. Okay, what do we have here? Now we have the same idea again, except instead of walking with idi and hadit, now it's yachat. And yeah, so it's talking about driving or taking wheeled transit, such as a car or bus or train. I'm not going to talk too much about this right now. Do we have exercises on this later? Yeah, we do a little bit. Okay, so let's not gab about it too much. I'm actually getting kind of tired of just filling these in. I don't know if it's particularly educational just to fill in blanks like this because you pretty much just are reading them off a reference as I'm doing. But let's go ahead and do this. So, oh, where is, oh, there we go. There it is. Okay. The opposite of the miagki znak. So the miagki znak is the soft sign. It's this thing that you see a lot, but this is the opposite. This is the hard sign to indicate that you emphasize the v. So like я веду. Not just, you don't make it softer, you make the v harder. So, я веду, ты ведешь, он or она ведет, ведет. Sorry, that hard sign is not a letter I'm used to typing because it's not something that it's not commonly used in Russian. Мы ведем. Вы ведете. Они ведут. And then past tense forms for a masculine person or thing are въехал. If I can find the now. Hello? There we go. There's so он въехал, она въехала, and они въехали. There we go. And then въезжат. Yeah. What is it? Я въезжаю. Ты въезжаешь. Oops. Where's sh? There we go. Он or она въезжает. You know what? It's probably easier to copy and paste these and just change the endings. Мы въезжаем. Вы въезжаете. Они въезжают. And then past tense forms are въезжал for a masculine thing. I'll just copy and paste that here and add ak. So feminine is въезжала. And then они is whoops. Oh dear. I accidentally pressed backspace. Oh, that's annoying. You know how you sometimes you press backspace in something and, okay. It actually remembered everything. That's good. I was worried that it might have forgotten what I put in, but no, it actually doesn't reflect it here yet because I pressed backspace and so it loaded it out of the browser cache. But yeah, okay. Okay, so I didn't lose the whole lesson. I just lost that one section. So I'll have to do that one section again. That's quite annoying, but that's life. I need to be careful with the backspace key. You should only press backspace when you're in a text field because otherwise it makes your browser go back, which is kind of stupid, but okay. Let's do this again. Then я веду, and I'm just going to copy and paste this and just blitz through this. So it's ведет, ведем, ведете, ведут, въехал. And I'll just copy and paste this and put it in here and add въехали on the end. Okay. I should be more careful. So let's copy and paste this and make the changes. So here we have въезжаю. Ты въезжаешь. Он or она въезжает. Мы въезжаем. Вы въезжаете. Они въезжают. Он въезжал. Она въезжала. And они въезжали. Okay. There we go. Thankfully that didn't take too long. Okay, and now we have some exercises with these, but we have only 7 sentences instead of 10 as before, so I think even the people who are writing these lessons started getting tired towards the end. Okay, so what do we have here? Машина въехала в гараж. The car drove into the garage. Мы... Okay, остановились. This is past tense, so again, it's past tense, I think, emphasizing something that's so done. So I'll say въехали. Мы въехали в двор и остановились. We drove into the yard and stopped. Mark всегда, okay, Mark всегда, so it's something that Mark does regularly, not just as a one-time thing. So we'll take въезжает, because we know it's something that he does regularly. Марк всегда въезжает на парковку очень аккуратно. Mark always drives into the parkovku, his parking lot, so he always drives into the parking lot very accurately. Well done, Mark. You are an accurate parker. Hero of the Soviet Union medal for you. Okay, эта блондинка только что something в деревья. Blonde jokes. Эта блондинка, this blonde lady, только что, so just now, something в деревья, drove into a tree. So, this is a one-time thing, probably. I'm assuming that this blonde woman, blonde jokes aside, this blonde woman probably doesn't drive into trees every day. So it's a one-time thing, and it's past tense. Они въехала. This blonde woman just drove into a tree. Поезд something в туннел и стало темно. So again, train drives into. So train drives into tunnel, or the train drove into the tunnel and became dark. So again, this is probably a one-time thing. Поезд is a masculine noun, so I'm going to take the past tense form for a masculine thing and say поезд въехал в туннел и стало темно. Train drove into a tunnel and became dark. And it became dark. Как только я something во двор, so as soon as I drive into the yard, я позвоню тебе. I call you, or I will call you. So as soon as I drive into the yard, I will call you. So I think this is emphasizing the finishing of driving into the yard. As soon as I drive into the yard, I will call you. So I'm going to use the first person form of въехать. And finally, несколько раз машина something на эстакаду, но так и не... Hold on. So, несколько раз, not a few times, so several times, машина, car, something drove into estacado. What is estacado? That is... oh, an overpass. Huh? Okay, hold on. Let's try to take this logically. So machina is feminine, and this is past tense. It's saying that the car did something several times. So because it happens several times and not just once, I'm going to go to vyezhat, the imperfective form, and I'll take the past tense of the feminine form because it's a car. So несколько several times car vyezжала, drove into the overpass. Но так и не... But not a single time drove into? Gonna take the perfective form here. Yeah. So that's correct, but I really can't interpret this correctly. Several times the car drove into the overpass, and so we take the imperfective form because this is something that happened several times. But it didn't vyechala, but it didn't drive in. It didn't finish driving in. Okay, I'm not sure. And when I say I'm not sure, I mean I really have no idea. Let's not dwell on it too long. Let's not dwell too long on mysteries that are not meant for mere mortals to understand. Instead, let's go ahead and have fun by typing in the different conjugations of vyechat. And here again, this means to drive out of, just like that car is driving out of the garage. So vyechat is perfective, vyezжат is imperfective, I'm pretty sure. So, vyechat, here we go. Yeah, vyedu, and I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that and just make the changes here. Vyedish, она, vyedет, мы vyedем, вы vyedете, они vyedут, and then past tense forms, I'm going to copy and paste this here. Он выехал for masculine, она выехала for feminine, and они выехали for plural. Okay, and then for vyezжат, what do we have here? I'm going to go ahead and once again copy and paste this in and just make the changes here. Выезжаю, ты выезжаешь, он or она выезжает, мы выезжаем, вы выезжаете, они выезжают, and then past tense forms are он выезжал, она выезжала, and они выезжали. Hello? Oh, I think my browser might be... Sometimes my web browser does curious things where it just kind of freezes like this for a moment. Going to hope that it will stop soon so that I can continue the lesson. I don't know why it does this. Most of the time I don't have too many problems, but just every now and then it just starts acting crazy like this. There we go. Okay. There we go. Everything is correct. Они выезжали. Must be some plugin that I have loaded or something that's somehow interfering with it and making it freeze up like that. But sorry. Anyway, okay, so let's move on. So now we have a whopping 10 sentences again with vyechat and vyezжат. And if you're getting tired of this, you're not the only one. But after this, we have a nice little tale of some old scurvy sea dog to ease off the tension. And then at the end here, we have a few figures of speech. So this should be the last really tedious exercise of this nature, I hope. So let's see. What are we looking at here? We want to... Right, okay, so the first one says, Машина уже выехала из гаража. The car already drove out of the garage. Мама, как только ты something из города, позвони мне. So, Mom, as soon as you drive out of the city, call me. So this is going to again be perfective because it's emphasizing the action of, or it's emphasizing that you've finished the action of driving out of the city. So, and it's ты. The person is speaking to their mother as ты. So, как только ты выедешь из города, Позвони мне. Mom, as soon as you drive out of the city, call me. Okay. So было here is past tense. So I'm going to say that this is probably... Yeah, so this is past tense, and it looks like a one-time thing. So I'm going to take the plural, since it's мы, take the plural past tense of the perfective form. Мы выехали ночью. We drove out at night. Потому что днем было слишком жарко. Because during the day it was too hot. Осторожно, сейчас отсюда something грузовая машина. So, осторожно means be careful, watch out. Сейчас отсюда... What? Oh, wait, hold on. What is this saying? I appear to not be interpreting this correctly. Let's see what's going on here. So, отсюда means from here. Okay, so отсюда means from here. And грузовая means... Oh, I see. Грузовая is like freight or cargo. So грузовая машина is a cargo truck, like a hauling truck. Okay, I see. So be careful, now the cargo truck will leave from here. Okay, I guess this is a one-time thing, and it's... so if it's a one-time thing, then it's выехать. So, and the truck is first person, or singular, third person. So it should be выедет, I believe. Is that right? Is that выедет? Yes, it is выедет. So, осторожно, сейчас отсюда выедет грузовая машина. Watch out. Now, from here drives out the cargo truck, or truck, whatever. Okay, она something из дома несколько раз. Okay, so this is past tense. So несколько раз means several times, and this is past tense. So we can already say, since it's several times, it's the imperfective here, and it's not past tense, so we already know the answer is выезжала. So, она выезжала из дома несколько раз, но каждый раз что-то забывала и снова возвращалась. Wow. She left the house several times, but every time something forgot and again came back. So that's what it says. She left the house several times, but every time forgot something and came back. Okay. В пятницу вечером из Москвы очень трудно something, потому что все something на даче или за город. Okay. В пятницу, on Friday, вечером, evening, из Москвы, from Moscow, очень трудно drive out, потому что все, because everyone drives out на даче или за город. Everyone drives to the dacha or out of the city, like to the suburbs. Dacha meaning, hopefully you haven't forgotten, a dacha is a kind of like a country home, like a little country summer home for Russian people. Okay, so this here, at least the second one, I think, should be imperfective, because it's saying that people are doing it regularly. So они, they're doing it every Friday. But The first one I think might be perfective because it's talking about finishing that action. It's talking about finishing the action of getting out of the city. And I think we actually take the imperfective, not the imperfective, the infinitive here, because it's not ascribing this to anyone. It's not saying he leaves or you leave or I leave. It's just saying it's very difficult to leave. So here you actually take the infinitive of vyechat. So, yeah. So you take the infinitive here because it's not ya or tli or an or ana or anything. There's no subject here. This is actually the first clause here has no subject performing this verb. It's just saying it's very difficult to leave, but there's no person or thing that is doing the leaving. So you use the infinitive here. So it's just vyechat. And then it's talking about how everyone is doing it regularly. So you take the imperfective form of ani. So again, the sentence means on Friday evening from Moscow, very difficult to leave, to drive out of the city because everyone is driving out either to their dacha or to the suburbs. Zagorod means like literally behind the city, so like to the outskirts of the city. Okay. Вы уже something is Vladimira. So this should be so it's addressing people as вы, so and it's past tense. It's saying did you already. So it's past tense, plural, and it's emphasizing finishing the action. So we take the perfective. So it's выехали. Вы уже выехали из Владимира. Did you already drive out of Vladimir? I think this means not a person named Vladimir, but a city. I think there is a city in Russia called Vladimir. Мы сейчас... okay, so we are doing it now. So this is very straightforward, indicative. Use the perfective because they are doing it as a one-time thing. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, wrong. It's not finished. They are doing it. They have not finished. So it's actually, in that case, you use imperfective. Sorry. Мы сейчас выезжаем. We are now driving out. Здесь ремонт дорогий. So now there is, ремонт means repair. So like here there is road repair. Here there's construction work being done on the roads. So presumably there's a lot of traffic jam because of road construction. Okay. Наша бабушка никогда не something из деревни. Ей не нравится город. Okay. Наша бабушка, our grandmother, никогда не, we know this is drives out, so never drives out of the деревни, out of the village. Ей не нравится город. She does not like the city. So, is this perfective or imperfective? What are we looking for here? I believe it's imperfective because it's saying she never does it. If you're describing something that never happens, then I'm pretty sure you have to use the imperfective for that. So, наша бабушка никогда не выезжает из деревни, ей не нравится город. Our grandmother never drives out of the village. She does not like the city. Мы скоро будем, мы уже... Okay. Phrasing here is again a little bit weird in English. Мы скоро будем, we soon will be. They don't say what we will be, they just say we soon will be. Мы уже, and then... Okay, so... Emphasizing the action of finishing, leaving, so it's perfective. And it's past tense plural, so it's мы уже выехали. We soon will be, we already left. Алло, скорая помощь. Скорая помощь? What is скорая помощь? Let me quickly check. What is that? What is скорая помощь? Скорая помощь is an ambulance. Okay, I see. Скорая means soon, and помощь means help. So скорая помощь literally means soon help. I guess this is kind of like the English phrase first responders, meaning emergency personnel responding to an emergency scene. So, okay. Алло, скорая помощь. Hello, ambulance. Здесь человеку плохо. Here is a bad person. Так, говорите ваш адрес. Сейчас... I think... Okay, здесь человеку плохо. Literally, here person bad. I think this means here someone is doing badly. So this means someone is very sick here. Okay, not saying not saying there's a bad person here, but here somebody's doing bad, like somebody is experiencing a medical emergency or something. Так, говорите ваш адрес. Yes, say your address. Сейчас, so now leaving. Okay, so the question now is, who is leaving? It's not really clear. Well, I mean, the ambulance is leaving, but how do you conjugate this now? I'm just checking. Okay, you conjugate it like мы. So they're saying we are leaving now. So, and for some reason you use the imperfective. I guess because they're not finished yet. They're leaving, but they haven't finished leaving yet. So, okay, so we are leaving now. So this, yeah, okay, so everything's correct. So, сейчас выезжаем means we are leaving now. It's imperfective because they haven't finished leaving yet. Okay, and after all that, now we get to listen to another dialogue. These dialogues are fun sometimes. So there's an old scurvy sea dog here talking to somebody in front of his ship. Let's listen and see what he has to say, huh?
Моряк и крестьянин. Крестьянин спросил моряка, который собирался плыть в Индию: «Где умер ваш отец?» «Он вышел в море и погиб там во время шторма». «А дедушка?» «Он вышел в океан и погиб во время катастрофы». «На вашем месте я никогда не выходил бы в море». Моряк тоже поинтересовался: «А где умер ваш отец?» «На своей кровати в спальне». «А ваш дедушка и прадедушка?» «Там же». «На вашем месте я никогда бы не входил в спальню».
Okay, I was expecting to hear the voices of two men, but apparently this is actually, this is a story being read by a woman. So the story is being read by a woman. So, okay, let's go ahead and go through this again. So,
Моряк и крестьянин.
Моряк и крестьянин. Sailor and, like a beggar or like a peasant, like a just a commoner, common town, city person.
Крестьянин спросил моряка.
So I'll say peasant. That's the translation I'm getting here. So the peasant asked the sailor,
который собирался плыть в Индию.
So the peasant asked a sailor who was about to sail to India,
«Где умер ваш отец?»
Where died your father? Where did your father die?
«Он вышел в море и погиб там во время шторма».
Okay, so hold on, let's fill in the blanks. So the answer was он вышел в море. He went to sea, or went into the sea. И погиб, and died, там во время шторма, and died there in the time of a storm.
«А дедушка?»
And grandfather, so I guess how did your grandfather die?
«Он вышел в океан и погиб во время катастрофы».
Okay. I probably shouldn't laugh, but there's It's somehow kind of darkly humorous in that Eastern European way. Он вышел в океан. He went into the ocean. И погиб во время катастрофы. And died in the time of a catastrophe.
На вашем месте я никогда не выходил бы в море.
На вашем месте, in your, literally in your place, so like in English you'd say in your shoes, in your position, я никогда не... it's входил, right? Yeah. На вашем месте я никогда не входил бы в море. In your position, I never would go to sea. Note the use of this word бы here. We've not seen this word very often, but this is basically the Russian equivalent of would. So this person's saying, I never would go to sea.
Моряк тоже поинтересовался.
And then the sailor also asked questions.
А где умер ваш отец?
And where did your father die?
На своей кровати в спальне.
On his bed in the bedroom.
А ваш дедушка и прадедушка?
And what about your grandfather and great-grandfather?
Там же.
Там же, same thing.
На вашем месте я никогда бы не входил в спальню.
Clever. I wonder if this is actually a classical Russian story. Did they write this just for the site, or is this a classical Russian story? I don't know. На вашем месте, in your place, я никогда бы не выходил в спальню. In your position, I would never go into the bedroom. That's clever. Okay, yes, and here we go. Now we get some idioms. So I said that at the end they had some figures of speech. Here we go. Now let's learn some figures of speech in Russian. These are kind of fun. So here you have a guy who is... it's not really apparent exactly what he's doing, but it's... obviously he's standing in some water, right? Well, it's this one here. It's... Okay, it went away. Hold on. Выйти сухим из воды. Come dry from water, or to come dry out of the water. So he's coming out of the water dry, as opposed to those two other people in the background who are still wet. Okay, and here's something about истории, fifth class, meaning fifth class meaning fifth grade, like fifth year of schooling. So fifth grade history. Here is something about историю, so we'll go ahead and put that on there. The expression here is войти в историю, literally to go into history. Here's a guy with a tattoo of a woman on his forehead. Hold on, let's come back to that one later. Okay, here's a guy who's acting in some kind of a play. This one is pretty apparent. It's войти в роль, get into a role. And here's one we saw before. Выйти из себя. Hold on, it advanced me to the one that I haven't filled in yet, but выйти из себя. Again, to exit out of yourself. And you can see this guy is literally stepping out of himself. He's so angry, he's literally like stepping out of his body as if he were some kind of an insect shedding its skin, or a snake or something shedding its skin. Okay, and then by process of elimination, then the last one would have to be this one. Что or кто не выходит из головы. Something or someone does not exit out of the head. So literally, something or someone doesn't exit out of the head, which is exactly the same as in English. If you say in English, I can't get something out of my head, same meaning. Okay, and now we have to drag the idioms to match their meanings. I think the idioms are, yes, they're here off to the right-hand side. So, let's read. Изображать из себя чужой характер, okay, this is basically saying, pretending to be a character, acting in public. So yeah, you act in public. You Войти в роль. You're like an actor taking on a role. You go into the role. All of these expressions, by the way, use words like войти or выходить. So basically, it's like go into or get out of stuff. So all these are Russian expressions that use words that we learned in this lesson. So it's kind of a way to, it's kind of nice. It's kind of an applied way to learn these words in idioms and expressions. So, размер вничаться перестать контролировать себя. Basically, yeah, перестать lose control of yourself. To lose control of yourself means выйти из себя, to step out of yourself. You step out of yourself, you lose control of yourself. Сделать плохое дело и остаться без наказания. So, basically, do something bad and escape without consequences or without punishment. So this is to come dry out of water. So basically, if you fall into water and you come out dry without getting wet, figuratively here, it's like you got into trouble, but you got out of it without getting, like, you got out of a bad situation without getting, you got out of a bad situation unscathed. You say in Russian, you come dry out of the water. Okay. Сделать что-то, совершить какой-то поступить. Okay, I'm not going to bother reading all of this because I don't think I can read this properly. But basically, this means do something or commit some kind of action which people are going to remember for a long time. That is to enter into history. You know, like sometimes in English, if somebody does something in English and you figure people are going to talk about it for a long time, you might say in English, we'll never hear the end of this. You'll never hear the end of it because people are going to keep talking about what you did. So in Russian, you say you enter into history, kind of like almost like you make history because you did something that people are going to keep talking about. And finally, okay, it's kind of unfortunate that my browser renders this thus. It kind of covers up the bottom here, but it basically says думать о чем-то или ком-то очень долго и мучительно. So basically, to think about something or someone for a very long period of time and very kind of fixatedly think about someone or something. Again, it's just as you say in English, you can't get it out of your head. Something doesn't get out of your head. So that's this. There you go. Normally I should get that pop-up that says lesson completed, but I did not. Oh, I made a mistake here. What was my mistake here in section 11? I didn't even check this. Somehow I thought that this was too simple for me to get it wrong, but apparently nothing is so simple that you can't screw it up. Oh, this is wrong. Oh, I mixed up the last two. This goes down here, because it's talking about going in. And because this is saying nikogda, never go into the sea, here you have to use the imperfective. Remember, for things that never happen, you have to use the imperfective. There we go, lesson 33 completed. Okay, that was a small mistake, but thankfully it was spotted and corrected without too much difficulty or endeavor. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been lesson 33 of Learn Russian with Learn Russian. Yeah, now you can read the text in that last line there, which was covered up before for some reason. So there you go. I'm going to just very briefly page back through the text here in case you want to read it again. But yeah, I don't think I have much left to say. This everything that I would want to say about this lesson has been said, so just going to make sure that all the text here shows up one last time for anybody who might want to copy it or take screenshots or whatever. You never know what people might want to do with it, just in case you want to see it one last time. Войти and входить. And here is the second dialogue, and here is the first dialogue. And that was it. That was the lesson. If we come back here, lesson 33 is done. Next time we will talk about verbs of motion with prefixes pri and u. I hope that you'll join me, folks, for future exciting lessons about verbs of motion in Russian. Until next time, folks, keep learning Russian with Learning Russian and also with other resources. I'll see you next time. Пока-пока.